Hey guys, I'm Chris, and today I'm going to be going through my entire Blu-ray collection. Now, I'm very excited to make this video, and before I get started, I want to let you know that I don't own every movie that I've ever seen, and there's a long list of Blu-rays I have seen of movies that I love. I just haven't picked them up yet because, you have to pick and choose, and collecting can be expensive sometimes, but this is my collection as of now in 2019. It's going to continue to grow as the year goes on. Can't wait to pick up Endgame next week. And yeah, let's get right into it. So first off, we've got 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street, two hilarious comedies. Then we've got the Alfred Hitchcock collection consisting of Rear Window, Vertigo, North by Northwest, Psycho, and The Birds. Just such a fantastic director, and Psycho's one of the best movies of all time. Then we've got Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and this cool Dark Knight Rises digibook. Such a great trilogy. Then we've got Baby Driver, probably my favorite Edgar Wright movie. The Back to the Future trilogy, 1.21 gigawatts. The Big Lebowski, hilarious comedy. The Big Sick, an underrated movie from 2017. Then we've got the Bourne trilogy. Supremacy is my least favorite. Ultimatum is my favorite, and then Identity is right in the middle. Braveheart, classic Best Picture winner. The Breakfast Club, fantastic 80s movie. Bullet, can't go wrong with Steve McQueen, and this has one of the best car chases in movie history. Then we've got Casablanca. Here's looking at you, kid. Catch Me If You Can, an underrated Spielberg flick. Creed, a great movie. I still need to pick up Creed 2. Then we've got Dazed and Confused, one of my favorite high school movies, probably number 2. Then we've got Deadpool and Deadpool 2, really great superhero movies. The Departed, and Die Hard, a great Christmas movie. So the next section starts off with Die Hard 2 and Die Hard with a Vengeance. I only own the first 3 Die Hards because the other 2 I don't really care for. Then we've got The Disaster Artist. Oh, hi, Mark. Django. Fantastic Tarantino movie. Donnie Darko, a cult classic. Dunkirk, one of the most underrated Nolan films. Elf, top 3 Christmas movies for sure. E.T., great movie. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, classic high school flick. Fight Club, I broke the first rule already. The Fighter, probably my favorite Bale performance. Then we got First Man, my least favorite Damien Chazelle movie, but it's still visually stunning. Then we've got Forrest Gump. Frosty the Snowman. Get Out, I wish this movie won Best Picture, but it is what it is. Gone Girl, it's backwards because David Fincher likes to do that with his movies for some reason. Then we've got Good Will Hunting, fantastic Robin Williams performance, rest in peace to a legend. Goodfellas. Green Book, I'm happy this movie won Best Picture, even though I was rooting for A Star Is Born. Hacksaw Ridge, a phenomenal war movie. The Harry Potter 8-film collection. I really enjoy these movies. I wouldn't call myself a Potterhead, but it's a fantastic series for sure. The Hateful Eight. And Heat, one of the best heist films of all time. Next we have Home Alone and Home Alone 2, my 2 favorite Christmas movies of all time. I always watch them back to back, and I even watch Home Alone when it's not Christmas. Then we've got Inception, fantastic Nolan film, probably top 3. Indiana Jones, The Complete Adventures, the 4th one is garbage, even though I have some fond memories of seeing it with my dad in theaters. The first 3, some of my favorite adventure films of all time. Inglourious Bastards, fantastic Tarantino movie. Interstellar, mind-bending movie to say the least. It's a Wonderful Life, probably my favorite Jimmy Stewart performance. Jaws in my top 5. Jurassic Park, fantastic movie, visually stunning. 80s classic, The Karate Kid. La La Land, I wish this movie won Best Picture. It is fantastic and one of the best musicals ever made in my opinion. Then we've got Logan. What a send-off for the character of Wolverine. I mean, Hugh Jackman should have gotten an Oscar nom probably. Then we've got the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I don't own the extended editions, I just own the theatrical versions. I think it's the best way to watch the movies, but that's just my opinion. The original Magnificent Seven, another Steve McQueen classic. And the Magnificent Seven remake, a great action movie directed by Antoine Fuqua. The Martian, probably my favorite Damon performance. Mid-90s, one of the most underrated movies from last year. Great debut for Jonah Hill. Then we've got Miracle, one of the best sports movies ever made. Then we've got Mission Impossible 1 through 5, and Fallout, my favorite Mission Impossible movie. And then we've got No Country for Old Men. I think this movie is a masterpiece. And The Other Guys, a hilarious comedy. So kicking off this next section, we've got the new Planet of the Apes trilogy. War is my favorite, followed by Dawn, then Rise, but all three are really solid movies. The Polar Express, enjoyable Christmas movie. The Prestige, some days it's my favorite Nolan movie. I know that's like controversial, but fantastic movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. Prisoners, my favorite Denis Villeneuve film. It is so good. Pulp Fiction, one of my favorite movies of all time. A Quiet Place, one of the best movies from last year. My favorite sports movie of all time, Remember the Titans. Reservoir Dogs, such a classic. Rocky 1 through 6, this Blu-ray case is broken and it bothers me, but the first Rocky is a classic and definitely in my top 20. Then we've got some Christmas movies with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and The Santa Claus, Santa Claus 2, and Santa Claus 3, Escape Clause. I enjoy watching this trilogy around the holidays. Then we've got Silver Linings Playbook, definitely Jennifer Lawrence's best performance, and Bradley Cooper is fantastic too. My favorite musical of all time, Singin' in the Rain, can't go wrong with it. Skyfall, one of my favorite 007 flicks. The Social Network, my favorite David Fincher film, maybe. It's up there. The Sound of Music, another great musical. Spectre, underwhelming Bond flick. Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, what a superhero trilogy, I mean that's up there. And Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, probably the best Spider-Man movie. Actually it is, check out our ranking if you haven't. Then we've got A Star is Born, probably my favorite movie from last year. Infinity War's up there though. Then we've got Star Wars The Complete Saga, Star Wars The Force Awakens, and Star Wars The Last Jedi. Not a fan of The Last Jedi, but I own it because I have high hopes for Episode 9. The original trilogy is my favorite trilogy of all time. The prequels, they're whatever, and Force Awakens is great. Then we've got Step Brothers, one of my favorite comedies of all time. Superbad, my favorite comedy of all time, and my #1 favorite high school movie. Talladega Nights, such a funny movie. This Is the End, another hilarious comedy. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Sam Rockwell is fantastic in this movie, so is McDormand and Harrelson, and I'm glad they all got Oscar noms, and that Rockwell won. Training Day, definitely my favorite Denzel performance. So great. Then we've got this really cool Us steelbook, one of my favorite movies so far this year. Then we've got West Side Story, another fantastic musical. Whiplash, my second favorite film of all time. Then we've got White Christmas, a really great Christmas movie and musical. They're falling down here, sorry. Then we've got The Wizard of Oz, The Wolf of Wall Street, fantastic Leo performance. I wish he won the Oscar. And then we've got Wonder Woman. Now we're going to move on to my 3 criterions that I own. I'm not going to pull them out. We've got The Silence of the Lambs, 12 Angry Men, and On the Waterfront. All 3 great classic movies, and I'm happy to own them. So down here we've got these 3 sections, and I'm going to explain them. So first we've got the Walt Disney animated classics in order of release date, and then if there's a sequel that follows it, you'll see. So first we've got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio, Peter Pan, Mary Poppins on Steelbook, and Mary Poppins Returns. I really enjoyed this movie, actually. Then we've got The Jungle Book, the animated classic, and the live action, if you want to call it, remake. I really enjoyed this movie. The Little Mermaid, classic. Beauty and the Beast, classic. And the remake on Steelbook, which is not as good as the original, but it's kind of entertaining, I think. Then we've got Aladdin, one of my favorites. The Lion King, the king of the Disney animated movies. Then we've got Tangled, Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, and Moana. So now we're moving on to the holy grail of my Blu-ray collection, the entire MCU. So starting us off, we've got Iron Man, my top 5 for sure in the MCU. The Incredible Hulk, one of my least favorite MCU movies. Iron Man 2, very underwhelming. Thor, Captain America, the First Avenger. The Avengers, I can remember seeing this movie in theaters for the first time. What an experience. I actually saw it 3 times in theaters. Then we've got Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, my least favorite MCU movie. And then we've got Captain America the Winter Soldier, top 10 MCU. It's really, really good. Guardians of the Galaxy, another phenomenal MCU film. Avengers Age of Ultron, entertaining but not great. Ant-Man, love this movie. Civil War, top 5. Doctor Strange, really underrated MCU movie. Guardians 2, I'm not a fan of this one. Spider-Man Far From Home, one of the better Spider-Man movies ever. I love Tom Holland. Then we've got Thor Ragnarok on Steelbook, one of the best MCU movies. Black Panther, controversial, it's a little overrated. Andy likes it more than I do, but it is what it is. Avengers Infinity War, number 2 in the MCU, behind Endgame. Ant-Man and the Wasp, entertaining MCU movie. And Captain Marvel, I enjoyed this more on rewatch, but it's still not great to me. So the final section here is Pixar. I know I don't own The Incredibles yet, but it's on my list. I love the movie a lot, I just have never gotten around to picking it up. So first we've got Toy Story, Toy Story 2, and Toy Story 3, the best animated trilogy. Not a trilogy anymore, but if you count these three, for sure the best animated trilogy. Finding Nemo, fantastic. Finding Dory, entertaining. Inside Out, a really great Pixar movie. Coco, this movie makes me cry every time at the end. And Incredibles 2, really solid sequel. And then down here I've got Stranger Things Season 1 on VHS and Season 2 on VHS. It's really Blu-ray, but really cool releases. So we've made it through my entire Blu-ray collection as of now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As I said earlier, I obviously don't own every movie that I've ever seen, so take it easy on me in the comments. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like this video, comment your thoughts on my Blu-ray collection down below, and if you collect Blu-rays, comment down below how long you've collected and how many you own and what some of your favorite Blu-rays are. And if you want to see more of these Blu-ray videos in the future, like hauls and Black Friday and stuff like that, be sure to just comment down below and I can definitely do that. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me and Andy, who I run the channel with. He's just on vacation right now. And expect a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood spoiler review coming this upcoming week. We're really excited to do that. But yeah, until next time, see you guys later.